Hey, what's up? Welcome back to Niner Notion. What can you say? You love to see it. 49ers fucking trounced the Packers 37-8. Pretty close to my prediction, 100-1, I might add. A very unusual score. But yeah, the 49ers went 18 dummy on the Packers and Aaron Rodgers and everything he's all about. Which ain't much right now. He's licking his wounds, I'm sure. Pretty upset. So we're going to get into it. We're going to break it down. It's a blowout, baby. And that's how it's always going to be. It's not always going to be like that. We've talked about it a lot. A lot of times it's going to be a dogfight, but today it was not. But there are two archetypes for how the Niners are going to play. Blowouts and dogfights. And it's really difficult to predict which is going to happen. But we blew the fucking Packers out of the water, and I love it. We're going to talk about how the D-line just straight up dominated. Everybody talks about the Green Bay Packers having a really good pass blocking line. I didn't fucking see it. I saw Aaron Rodgers running for his life, and to be honest with you, it looked like a work of art. It looked like The Last Supper. It was the Last Supper football edition. And yeah, so one thing I want to talk about, Fred Warner, man. Fred Warner goes in and he's punching balls out. He's been doing it all year. He did it to O.J. Howard in the first game of the season against the Buccaneers. He's worked on this in the offseason. He's talked about it, but he's going in with bad intentions when he's going into tackle. He's not just trying to wrap somebody up and twist them down. He's going in to hit that ball. And frankly, I think it's an abusive thing. I think he's got an issue with football violence. And I want him to see somebody, maybe a therapist, and talk to... Actually, I don't, because I like it. I like when that ball comes out. It's pretty fucking awesome. Also, remember when we played the Seahawks, Wilson fumbled to his lineman, and Ifedi turns around, and all of a sudden, boom, ball comes out. Buckner picks it up, scores a touchdown. That's what got us back into the Seahawks game. That was Fred Warner as well. You can't say enough. You love to see it. And yeah, he's definitely starting to take up the mantle of a real leader on the defense. I mean, it's crazy to think he's only in his second year, but he reminds me of like a young Bobby Wagner. And I know that's crazy to say because that guy's really, really talented. He's not as physically gifted as like a Pat Willis, but he makes up for it with his intellect and his football IQ. And I think that's the mold that you have with a Fred Warner. So yeah, that's great to see. Another thing I want to talk about is we had Kittle back and everything clicked on offense again. And yes, Kittle contributes hugely to the run game as a run blocker. He's probably the best blocking tight end in the league. And he's one of the top 2 or 3 best play action receiving tight ends. So that's saying something. But I think Kittle helps in another way as well. I think Kittle's greatest contribution is in his leadership and his positivity. Kittle answering a question with reporters, I think it was right after the game, and he's talking about how or they ask him, they say, what do you think you bring back to the team that wasn't there over the last 2 games? And Kittle, instead of kind of taking the bait and saying, oh, I help in the run game, or oh, I add an element to the passing game, he says, I bring positivity to the team. I think back to a really difficult game that we had with the Steelers, where we faced a lot of adversity and we were able to overcome in the waning moments of that game. I think a big reason for that was the leadership Kittle showed. There were 2 plays in particular. One early in the game when Mostert fumbles. Kittle is down on his knees, kind of looking down, feeling dejected. I think we got the ball back, but he's just, there's a huge loss on the play. And Kittle's like down for 1 second, and then he looks up and he sees Mostert is starting to beat himself up for fumbling. And he runs right over to him, and he's like, I don't know what he says, but he said, it's okay. Keep your head up. We're going to need you. And he lifts Mostert up. He doesn't get inside of himself. He looks for someone else to pick up. Later on in the game, the ball is thrown. It's the waning moments of the game. There's a pass thrown, I think, on third or fourth down to Pettis, and Pettis doesn't make the catch, but Kittle gets held in the end zone, which is going to give us a first down. Pettis is looking kind of dejected, and Kittle gets up, runs over to Pettis, and I'm sure he says something like, "Don't worry about it. There was a flag. We got a first down. We still need you." And guess what? Pettis ends up making the play of the game at the very end, makes that touchdown catch, and wins us the game. So I think that's what Kittle brings to the team. And you look at the Seattle game, Kittle's up in the box. He's not even on the sideline. So what does your team lose in terms of leadership when you don't have a guy like that out there? That's something to think about, because when we had all those drop passes, there was no one running over those guys and saying, "Hey, it's going to be okay. Keep your head up. We're going to need you later." Kendrick Bourne, Dante Pettis, Marquise Goodwin, even Debo had a drop or two. That's what Kittle brings to the team. So things are looking up for us, guys. Things are looking real good. If you could, if you watched this far, we would love it if you would subscribe to our channel. We put a lot of work into these, and we're doing them every week, and we love to do them, but we want to see that you guys like it too. So please subscribe, like, if you want, leave a comment, and I'll try to respond. I think I respond to everybody. So that is what we're looking to do. We'll catch you guys next time.